What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about what fills your mind and how to manage your mental bandwidth. So when I first started my meditation practice, I quickly realized that my mind was always racing and that my thoughts do not stop. They're always just coming through. And the second thing I quickly realized was those thoughts aren't very consistent either. It's not like I follow one trajectory for 10 minutes at a time. My mind is jumping around to different subjects, different topics. It's what you might call a monkey mind or a scatterbrain. And the more I started to talk to people, I recognized that I wasn't the only one that experienced this. In fact, I would argue that 99.9% of people that start a meditation practice will experience pretty much the same thing. So I started to think, what is it that's filling my mind? Like, this stuff isn't very valuable, is it? This isn't supportive to me accomplishing my goals. This is taking up a lot of my focus too, isn't it? So I started to think, okay, well, what is it? And I quickly deducted that all the content that was filling my mind was stuff that I was spending a lot of time and energy on. So if you play video games a lot, you're going to be thinking of those video games. If you play chess a lot, I remember I got into chess like really heavily at one point, and I was going to bed at night, and I was finding myself thinking of like chess moves. Sounds so fucking nerdy, but it's true. And it'll happen with anything where if you're spending a lot of time thinking about it and engaging in it, your mind is going to play it back to you. So I was recognizing, well, if I'm jumping around all over the place, that must mean that I'm not very focused throughout my day and what I'm giving my attention to just throughout the course of a day. And I reflected on that, and it's like, yeah, that's true. My mind is quite scattered because I'm quite scattered. I revert to my phone every, 10 minutes for maybe 30 seconds at a time to a couple minutes at a time to like check social media, that kind of thing. And that's a reflection of me being scattered. That's being scattered in actuality. That's not just mental. That's like a physical thing, right? You're taking out your phone and you're like just distracting yourself. So your mind will reflect the same thing back to you. You're just always going to be distracted with random ass thoughts. So this isn't synonymous with your success, as you can imagine, because you're not going to be able to hone in on one thing and really focus on it. You only have so much space in your mind. This is what I call mental bandwidth. Let's say you have 100%, and then you give 10% to social media, 10% to thinking about what you're going to be doing this weekend, 10% to worrying about your financial situation, 10% to thinking about what you could have done differently in that confrontation that you had yesterday. And now you only have 60% left to focus on like what you're actually doing. Let's say you're trying to get like a project done or something. Well, that's 60%. You could be operating at 100%. So you're going to be a lot more of a well-oiled machine if you can get to 100%. You're going to be more efficient. You're going to get stuff done better. And most of all, you're going to be more mindful instead of just having your mind full. There's an image that I've seen a couple times on social media platforms where there's a dog sitting and a man sitting beside him on a bench. It's his dog. And they're looking at like a beautiful scenery, and there's like a little thought bubble on each of them. And the dog's thought bubble is exactly what you see in front of you. It's just like a smaller image of the image that is portrayed. And the man's thought bubble has like a car and a stack of cash and a house and like a suit and tie. So it's representing that his brain is full, his mind is full of all these different things. And the dog is just engaged in what's in front of him. He's mindful. Whereas the man is mindful. And that's a pretty powerful image because most of us are like this. But what we want to strive for is to be more present, to see what is in front of us and be fully engaged in that. Because that's all there ever is. So from a practical standpoint, you're going to be able to focus a lot better. You're going to be able to get a lot more stuff done if your mental bandwidth is more well managed. But from a little bit more of an abstraction here, you're just going to feel better overall too. Because those mental distractions that are always going on, a lot of the times they're associated with worry. It's stuff that we're worrying about. So in those examples that I gave, right, worrying about like our financial situation or thinking about how we could have, confronted that person differently yesterday. And then that puts us into a negative feeling place where we're kind of miserable. We're just like sitting there stewing in anger. But if you're mindful, if you're present, you're going to be in a good feeling place, which is obviously so valuable. So, this all sounds great, but how do we go about doing it? How do we manage our mental bandwidth? Well, first and foremost, and you could probably already guess this, is that a meditation practice is going to be absolutely crucial here. At least 10 to 15 minutes a day. If you don't know how to meditate, I have a video called Meditation for Beginners or something like that. It's like how to meditate. You can go find it on my channel. I also have a video called Benefits of Meditation if you want to see how else this is going to help you in your life if you're not convinced yet. But this is one of the biggest ways. So a meditation practice, at least 10 to 15 minutes every single day. And you're going to start to love it because it's going to bring you back to yourself. It's going to bring you back to here and now. You're going to be more present and more at peace. Now, if you want to do this in an optimal way, you're going to meditate twice a day, right when you wake up in the morning and right when you go to bed at night. And that's going to set the tone for your day. And that's going to set the tone for your rest as well. It's also a great way to get to sleep. The other reason that that's so powerful is because if you're not doing that, maybe you could be doing other things too, but what most people are doing right when they wake up and right before they go to bed is that they're on their phone. And being on your phone, especially during those times, those are very vulnerable times, right in the morning and right before you go to bed. Especially during those times, being on your phone is going to have the opposite effect. You're going to be chipping away at your mental bandwidth, and you're going to be digging that addiction to technology even deeper. And I have a video called Why We're So Addicted, or I forget what my video is called, damn. The thumbnail is a phone shackled to a pair of arms, and it's about how we're so addicted to technology and how we can go about changing that. So you can go check that out. I'll attach a link and the actual title down in the description below. So those are the two things you're going to do. You're going to do a meditation practice, and if you're not doing it first thing in the morning and last thing at night, what you're going to do, at least this, is make sure you're not on your phone for 1 hour when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. No phone. You're going to be a lot more present during those times. Now, what else you're going to do is you're going to have a little bit of structure to your day. So you're going to have a little bit of a plan, especially if you have some stuff on the go that you're trying to get done, you're trying to be productive, you're going to have a little bit of a plan in place. Now, believe me, I'm one of the last people that is going to go and structure their day so meticulously and perfectly, or at least one of the last people that wants to do that. That kind of like goes against my nature. I'm very much like just kind of go with the flow type of person. I'm not very organized. There's a a Myers-Briggs personality test. There's 16 different personality types, and the last letter is P or J. And I'm an ENFP. So the P, what that symbolizes, it's perceiving versus judging. So the P that's correlated to kind of going with the flow, not being very structured, not being very organized, like I mentioned. And I'm like a very strong P trait versus the J. A little side note, you can go take that personality test and that'll tell you a lot about yourself if you've never heard of that. It's called the Myers-Briggs 16 personality types. There's a bunch of like free tests that you could take online. So I'm one of the last people that wants to go and structure their day like this. But I see so much value in it because I have a plan. I'm not spending time thinking about, okay, what am I going to do next? I know what I'm going to do in my day. And at very least, even if I'm not like scheduling stuff, I have my non-negotiables. So I know every day I'm not going to be on my phone during these times. I'm going to meditate during these times, or at least I'm going to meditate, even if it's not during those times. And I'm going to read and I'm going to exercise. Those are my non-negotiables. So those are some things that, and all of those things are going to help you also to create a bigger capacity for focus and to help you grow your attention span. So those practices that I mentioned can all go under the category of things to do to manage your mental bandwidth as well. But those are the big three, really. No phone before bed and when you wake up, meditation. And that third one, having a little bit of structure so you know what is going on and you're not spending too much time thinking about it. And those go in order of importance. So meditation is the most important one. Developing your meditation practice. And you'll see it too as time goes on. You'll get better at it. The thoughts will start to subside more and you won't be as swept up by your phone. You're going to start to enjoy the meditations more too. You're going to sit there and it's going to bring you a lot of peace, and you're going to start to see how that's going to affect you in the rest of your life as well. You're going to get to a point where you're almost going to feel like you're meditating all the time. You're just a lot more present. You're more mindful versus mindful. So those are all the ways that not all the ways, but those are a few ways that you can manage your mental bandwidth. Put those into practice in your life and you're going to get some good results. So I think that's it for this topic. Go ahead and give me a like if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel for more helpful content like this. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And lastly, I offer free coaching sessions, one free coaching session to everybody who wants one. So you can go ahead and shoot me a message on Instagram or send me an email. I'll attach the links to both of those things below in the description. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.